What if time itself, past, present, and future, is not a guide, but a prison? Old Billy dares to ask whether our greatest obstacles come not from what we lack, but from the way memory and history weigh down the present, suffocating the possibility of renewal. Can a soul truly change, or does the shadow of the past condemn every attempt at transformation?
In this episode, we journey into Billy's vision, a radical break from linear time, a call to free ourselves from the chains of before and after, and to reconnect with the essence that belongs not to one, but to all. Stay with us as we explore past, present, future, a reflection where philosophy, justice, and even quantum physics meet to challenge the way we experience reality itself.
When the fog descended, silence settled over the village after the discovery of old Billy's departure. His notes were left stacked, serving as entertainment for the locals who chose to share them with others.
Number 045. Past, Present, Future. Time presents itself as a reference for organizing history. Everything seems bound to happen before or after other events. When something good seeks permission from life to manifest, the past, present, future interferes, entangles, condemns, and restrains. Perhaps that is why we have no memory of what came before or after birth. At least in that moment, we are independent and authentic. I imagine that at this very instant, a criminal might be contemplating doing good, an intimate inspiration, his soul communicating an opportunity. But as he rises to act, the past, present, future sounds its deafening horn, warning that nothing he does can erase his mistakes. In resistance, the criminal's soul argues that was never the intention. It simply wishes to manifest and bring forth something resonant in the physical world. Yet this negotiation weakens the original will, and even if the soul of the criminal manages to see his intention through, the result is born under the shadow of doubt and suspicion, a prime example of the present contaminated by the past. The genuine desire for justice finds in punishment a way to prevent wrongdoing from repeating itself. But in reality, this past, present, future model penalizes the very possibility of good taking root. The mere assumption that one mistake leads to another directly suppresses attempts at redemption. The past, present, future disregards and dismisses the soul, proclaiming that essence never changes. But is that true? This claim is terrifying, a complete misunderstanding. Not because essence changes or remains unchanged, but because it presumes that one's essence can be known and classified. In the perspective of life that moves forward, essence cannot be individualized. That often heard phrase, "the essence of an individual is such and such," reveals the fine line of absurdity. Yes, every individual has an essence, but no essence worthy of being called essence can be confined to one person. In other words, an individual becomes an individual by distancing themselves from their essence. But essence itself can never be distanced from itself and can never be individualized. When a person reconnects with essence, which belongs not to them but to all, their values shift. Thus, people change due to their proximity or influence by essence, just as they change due to the influences and discoveries of their physical reality. An essence, though it cannot be individualized, must also adapt if it wishes to fulfill its purpose of expanding itself. In the face of these ever-changing rules, it is time to finally disqualify the past. As long as we insist on inserting what has already happened, it will contaminate what is yet to come, trapping us in an endless cycle of repeating the very mistakes we sought to avoid. No one truly exists. The person writing these words now is not the same person who will later revise their grammar. We all transform, shedding who we were moments ago. For this reason, the past, present, future should no longer hold our attention. I repeat, no good inspiration can arrive to solve our problems while we remain trapped within the limitations of the past, present, future. There are two paths to constructing a world. 1. The one we keep repeating, dictated by restrictive human concepts. The other, the one of cooperation between humans and our guiding essence. To allow ourselves to be used by the essence that belongs to all of us, we must also release who we were and who existed around us. We must break the lock of time and completely free the past. This is the only rule of the life that goes on.
Old Billy's Past, Present, Future offers a deep philosophical reflection on the concept of time as both an ordering principle and a psychological constraint. It challenges the way history, memory, and social constructs influence human behavior, particularly in relation to justice, identity, and transformation. Below is a broad analysis of its key themes. 1. The tyranny of time. The text presents time, particularly the past, present, future model, as a force that binds individuals to their history, restricting their ability to evolve freely. It argues that the past contaminates the present, not only by defining how others see us, but also by limiting our own perception of what is possible. 2. The criminal's dilemma. The past as a condemning force. A powerful illustration of this is the hypothetical criminal who, despite feeling inspired to do good, is met with the overwhelming weight of his past mistakes. Society, through its rigid concept of justice, assumes that past behavior dictates future actions, thereby stifling opportunities for redemption. This is a critique of a punitive justice system that assumes people are static rather than dynamic beings capable of transformation. 3. The misconception of essence. One of the most thought-provoking arguments in the text is the challenge to the idea of a fixed essence. It suggests that while every individual has an essence, this essence is not individual. Instead, it belongs to all and cannot be confined within personal identity. True individuality emerges when a person distances themselves from their supposed essence, engaging in a continuous process of becoming rather than being. 4. The infinite loop of repetition. By giving excessive weight to history, humanity traps itself in cycles of repetition. This applies not only to individuals, but to collective human experiences, wars, conflicts, prejudices that keep recurring because they are shaped by historical assumptions rather than fresh possibilities. 5. Breaking the chains. Liberation from time. The text advocates for a radical shift, abandoning the past, present, future framework and embracing a state of existence where inspiration and cooperation with the greater essence of life are prioritized. Only by breaking free from time's constraints can true renewal and transformation occur. 6. A new model for the future. 2 paths are presented. The current limited human experience, bound by time and repetition. A liberated path where humans work in harmony with their collective essence. The text ultimately calls for a shift in perception, one that removes the weight of past conditioning to allow for genuine growth and innovation. Final thoughts. This piece is a profound meditation on identity, change, and the limitations of societal constructs. It echoes themes found in existentialism, psychoanalysis, and even certain spiritual traditions that emphasize being over becoming. The call to let go of the past is not just about individual healing, but about restructuring our entire approach to justice, personal evolution, and human cooperation. Would you like to explore any of these themes further?
Thanks, Ava. In Past, Present, Future, Old Billy presents a profound philosophical critique of linear time and its impact on human experience, particularly in relation to moral agency and the potential for transformation. It would be fascinating to hear Dr. Ada Champ's insights on its philosophical correlations and implications.
Sure, John. Just a few additions to what Ava has already presented to us. Philosophical implications. Existentialism. The text's emphasis on individual freedom, responsibility, and the search for authentic existence resonates with existentialist themes. The rejection of deterministic models and the call for self-transformation align with existentialist ideals. Process philosophy. The texts focus on change, becoming, and the interconnectedness of all things aligns with the principles of process philosophy. The rejection of fixed essences and the emphasis on dynamic processes are central to this philosophical tradition. Eastern philosophy. The concept of a universal, interconnected essence shares similarities with concepts found in Eastern philosophies like Buddhism and Taoism. The emphasis on releasing attachments to the past and embracing the present moment also aligns with these traditions. Ethics of redemption. The text raises important ethical questions about the nature of justice, punishment, and redemption. It challenges the traditional view of justice as retribution, advocating for a more transformative and restorative approach. In essence, Old Billy's text presents a philosophical argument for transcending the limitations of linear time and embracing a more fluid, dynamic, and interconnected view of reality. It advocates for a paradigm shift in our understanding of human agency, morality, and the possibility of transformation.
Hey everyone! Sorry for this analysis dragging on. I'm really curious to know how quantum physics understands this text. We can't afford to waste Dr. Andrew Weber's presence. He's heading back to Europe, and we'll miss this chance. Dr. Weber, please, what's the new science's perspective on how Mr. Billy views time?
In a superficial analysis, quantum physicists might approach past, present, future through the lens of quantum mechanics and the nature of time. Here are some key perspectives they could bring to the discussion. 1. The illusion of linear time. Classical physics views time as a linear progression, but quantum mechanics challenges this notion. In quantum theory, time is not necessarily an absolute sequence of before and after, but can be relative and entangled with the observer's frame of reference. This aligns with the text's critique of the past, present, future structure as an artificial constraint that limits human experience. 2. Superposition and multiple realities. The text criticizes the concept that our past dictates our future. Well, quantum mechanics introduces the idea of superposition, where multiple states exist simultaneously until an observation collapses them into a single reality. This resonates with the idea that the past should not determine the present or future. We exist in a field of potentialities until choices are made. 3. Quantum entanglement and collective consciousness. The idea that essence is shared among all beings and cannot be individualized resembles quantum entanglement, where particles remain interconnected regardless of distance. Just as entangled particles influence each other instantaneously, human consciousness and experiences may be deeply interconnected beyond the constraints of linear time. 4. The observer effect, creating reality. Quantum physics shows that observation influences reality. For example, the famous double-slit experiment. This suggests that the way we perceive time may shape our experience of it. If we let go of the past, present, future construct, we might unlock new ways of being, just as the text argues for freeing ourselves from temporal constraints. 5. The quantum model of time as a loop or block universe. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics, such as the block universe theory, propose that past, present, and future all coexist simultaneously, much like frames in a film reel. This perspective challenges the notion that past events must dictate future outcomes, reinforcing the text's call to detach from a rigid timeline. Conclusion. A quantum physicist might see past, present, future as an intuitive recognition of deeper truths about time and reality. The text's challenge to linear time echoes the principles of quantum mechanics, suggesting that reality is far more fluid and interconnected than we assume. By embracing this perspective, we might open ourselves to a new way of existing, one that aligns with the quantum world's limitless possibilities.
The text ultimately calls for a shift in perception, one that removes the weight of past conditioning to allow for genuine growth and innovation. Those are words extracted from Ava's analysis. That is life that goes on. My gratitude to Ava, Dr. Champ, Ivy, and a particularly warm thanks to Dr. Andrew Weber. Have a safe journey back to Europe. Thank you all